Yo, Sane, what's flopping, man? Shout out to Sane. Um, we have some breaking news apart from this economical thing that's going on, which is significantly shocking. Stand by. Yo, shout out to Jesse or Jessam. Jessam, what's flopping, man? Um, so a couple things. We're gonna let a few more people get on here, but we have new news to discuss. Put it that way. Shout out to Jesse, man. It is officially, it must be officially, the dead of winter because it was freaking freezing this morning and it's the middle of winter. So it's interesting that it's the new year, which makes no sense, which we can talk about. Um, I know you guys have probably seen like 100 different people's posts about how New Year's is fake and everything. But when you really think about it, like it is shocking to a different degree. Like even our calendars are manipulated and kind of fake. You know what I mean? Um, so just briefly, I mean, yeah, it was for the longest time, and apparently in Ethiopia or Nigeria, I forget which one, they still do a 13-month calendar, which is very interesting. I wonder if Gaddafi did a 13-month calendar. Apparently, it was 12 months because they changed it to 12 months to like for tax purposes. If it was 13 months and 28 days, then every end of the month will always be a Saturday, and every beginning of the month will always be a Sunday. Like it was much more cohesive rather than this way. You got like leap years, you got freaking upside down Friday the 13th, and all this crazy stuff. And so apparently it was about um, just manipulating even the way we record time. Now, you guys thought my book from 1888 was cool. There's a Bible from 1813 which literally says it's been 4,000 it was 4,000 years since Adam until Christ was born, and then another 1700, 1800, and so years since Adam, or sorry, since Adam to Christ, and then from Christ to now was like 1700 and some odd years. And it basically puts us at 6,000 years, which, dude, I literally, so that ancient book that I told you guys that I have from 1888, I inherited from my late father-in-law. Now, he did think that anyone who thinks the earth is 6,000 years old is like absolutely a whack job, crazy guy, right? Crazy person. But we also watched with him the documentary about ancient trees, like Devil's Tower and stuff. And it completely blew his mind. He wasn't closed-minded by any means. He was very open-minded. That's why he kept all these books and he, had all these amazing things. So it's interesting because I believe that he would likely come around perhaps and be like, damn, man, maybe it really is 6,000. What do we know even about space and all that? But that generation did grow up with um, Star Trek, like all these new space movies, Star Wars. I mean, I grew up with Star Wars too, but I mean, it was built different back then when it was brand new, right? But anyways, interesting little bit of an extra tidbit of information about it being 6,000 years old. One of the other creationist guys, by the way, said that the Mississippi River, I believe, it deposits XYZ amount of sediment per year from the river flowing. So sand builds up on the shores or on the coasts or on the river banks and everything. And basically, you could tell like how many inches of sediment takes you back how many hundreds of years of what is there right now. And basically, they measured the riverbanks with that in mind and came to the conclusion that the Mississippi River started flowing and started depositing that sand and sediment about 6,000 years ago. And there's many other references to 6,000 years. Apparently in the Hebrew, like, I don't know if it's the Talmud or the Hebrew something, the Hebrew calendar maybe, they say it was 6,000 years, which is very interesting. So that's really the tip of the iceberg. But we'll find out more. We'll find out more. The thing I'm seeing comments from people saying, well, my grandpa told us that growing up, that the billions of years, space, and dinosaurs are all connected to take away from the creation story, which is inversely correlated. In other words, is the literal opposite of all of that stuff. So we're going to briefly announce that we are live on Instagram. Welcome everyone to Rumble. Glad that your live notifications are on. Shout out to Thrax, who said Stargate was my shit. I'm trying to think. I don't even know that I've heard of. I know of Star Trek. I maybe saw one movie called Stargate, but was that like a series or what? Let me know. Okay, here we go. What do we got? Will election fraud trigger the EBS? What's EBS again? Okay, we're just briefly going live on Instagram at this exact moment, and then we'll be getting right into it. Okay, Thrax, I remember that. Stargate, that's right. Wait till you find out what they found in Iraq, apparently. Or was it? I think it was Iraq. Let's just say there's technologies out there we may not, that have not possibly heard or seen the light of day. There's a guy who bought a tank that was decommissioned in the UK, and in one of its compartments was like bricks of gold worth like $5 million today. But the dummy announces it like, anyway, that is not his gold anymore. He freaking got it confiscated. And apparently those tanks were in, I don't know what country in the Middle East in what year, but they got some gold. You're not supposed to tell someone that stuff, man. If you find gold, shut up about it. Shout out to Little Season Travelers. Thank you very much for the lovely words. And shout out to Gravity Bender. No, I have not heard about Ayatollah. What is that again? Remind me what Ayatollah is. Why have I heard about that? Guys, just so you know, right now we're discussing many, many things, including the age of the Earth, the plan for 2026's financial system change up, which is shocking. And what do you think, Herbalist? And we're also discussing the latest goings on in the establishment. So we are live specifically on a different platform, not Instagram. I'm literally just using Instagram right now to tell you guys we're live on Rumble, because last time I streamed for a long time on Instagram, it got a strike. They shut it down. It's super sensitive. You can't say certain shit. So that's why we're live right now on Rumble, which is at the link in my bio. If you guys are interested in deep dives and discussions, that's the spot, and there's zero censorship. So it's at the link in my bio, or you could go comment on any post on my page, the word Rumble, and you'll automatically get a link to my live stream channel. But don't comment Rumble here. That won't do anything. It only works on my actual posts. And again, Rumble is free to download, free to watch, and free speech. And you don't even need to download it. You could watch it just from your browser. But if you want to comment, you need an account, which you either got to download or, you'll figure it out. But anyway, hope to see you guys all on Rumble. Much love, everyone. Keep your head on a swivel. 2026. I know it's a fake new year, but like some shit is coming around the corner. So, okay. Love you guys. See you in 2 seconds. Herbalist Doc says. Living a luxury, not toxic home. Let me show you. Hold on a second. That is not the flex this guy thinks it is. I'll tell you about it after. Boom, bang, bing. Sonny, what's going on? And Swing, what's flapping, dude? Swing, I meant to ask you yesterday, how much taxes do you pay on average in Florida if you make, let's say 80 grand a year, or let's say 60 grand a year, some amount? Let me know, like, is it really that big of a difference? Is Florida one of the best states to live in for tax purposes? But what about Wyoming, which has no? Wyoming is one of those places with no taxes for something. I can't remember what it was. Is that a 3 or a 5? 30%. Okay, because last I checked, like this whole income tax thing was supposed to be temporary. Novak, have you not been paying attention, dude? Ever since the U.S. is giving $8.5 billion to a country in the Middle East, which is just approved, and the Epstein Island and all that, we've got nothing. We don't know who went to that island. It's all been redacted. And all this other tomfoolery is going on. Dude, it is literally trending that there is a tax strike. Now, I think that is epic, but I also think that the Illuminati would have sat there and went, what if they all stop paying taxes, though? And they probably have something up their sleeve. I think if everyone stopped paying taxes, which I do think really we kind of should, but if we did, and everything goes to shit in the government because they have no money, and then everything goes to shit in society because everything's stopped and there's so much red tape and it's a big, a pile of freaking crap, then they could use that crises to usher in a new financial system. In other words, like the economy is already kind of up shit creek right now, but if everyone stopped paying taxes, it might accelerate the economy being upside down, which then they say, okay, whoa, sorry, no more taxes, and we'll buy all your debt back, debt forgiveness, total debt forgiveness. But there's a catch, and that is that you get absolutely gimped with your freedoms and rights and whatnot. So it's absolutely shocking. Now, the one thing I wanted to mention, though, come around the corner of 2026, I did wake up knowing that it's a fake new year, but it does look interesting seeing 26 instead of 25. And I did think to myself about resolutions. Now, most people, we talked about this, fail at resolutions because they say, I want, or I will, or I'm going to. And all those are reinforcing the fact that you do not have, as opposed to saying, I have the pinnacle, or rather the peak health physique. Like, let's say you're talking about going to the gym all the time. I want to lose weight. Want is to desire without having. Going to is reinforcing you're not there yet. So it would be, the wording of it is important. That's why most people's resolutions have a hard time manifesting themselves, because people say it in the upside down term, which is why English is a language. It's a spelling, casting spells, man. It's freaking shocking. Yeah, land taxes are BS too. That's right, Sonny. But anyways, one resolution we can get behind, which is honestly the most important one. Like, it's great to be bare feet on the ground. We do have to meditate more. It's a good idea to meditate more, 100%, to vibrationally attune yourselves. However, I do need to mention, because I posted this in my stories today and already a bunch of people have DM'd me about it, we are giving away 4 or 5 more bags of the chocolate powder left on this live. So we're talking detox, brain function. This is organic heirloom cacao from Bolivia, heavy metal tested, certified heirloom. So they genetically tested it, and they've aligned its DNA sequences, I guess, with the fact that it is the original cacao, as opposed to the cacao that most people get at the store, which is a hybrid bean and it has less benefits. Same thing with cinnamon. Cassia cinnamon is the most popular cinnamon. The original cinnamon is Ceylon cinnamon, which is 1,000 times better for you. Ceylon cinnamon is also in the chocolate powder. So this is a delicious detoxing hot chocolate drink. This is the way the deal works. I just put the link in the chat. Make sure you click it so you're first in line. Again, 4 or 5 more bags of this organic heirloom cacao, $100 value. The way the deal works, you guys have seen before. Number 1 chalk supplement for men and women. Who's calling me? Probably a scam. They can spoof numbers now, so they'll call you from a... Anyway, number 1 supplement for men and women is the hot water purified Shilajit. And I was not pulling your leg or willy-nillying around when I told you guys in 2019 about the importance of taking Shilajit. And it's not because Bruce Lee took it. It's not because Genghis Khan took it. It's not because Vladimir Putin takes it and the Russian military secretly studied it for 40 years. It's because of all of those things and the fact that we have 12 clinical studies on it. It's a hormone optimizer. It's a fertility booster. It massively stimulates the production of new brain cells. It's called neurogenesis. So it gives you better memory, concentration, and focus. It is considered the king of, or rather the destroyer of weakness. It's 2026. We know about fluoride. We know about GMOs. We know about pesticides. Do we know about our DNA that gets replaced or rather repaired by minerals? Do we know about the importance of getting this crazy stuff out of us and that there are superfoods out there that pull it and bind to it and excrete it out of the body? Speaking of, the Chad mode has organic blue spirulina in it, which is the most powerful binder in the natural world. Free radicals, phthalates, microplastics, pesticides, heavy metals, and more, and it binds to it and excretes it out of the body. Plus, it has 150 milligrams of organic caffeine per scoop, cold water extracted from green coffee beans, which is an anomaly in itself because most caffeinated beverages today are actually synthetically derived. So they grow the caffeine instead of extracting it. They grow it instead of getting coffee beans and extracting caffeine from them. It's a scam. So it hits different when it's from the Chad mode. So the way the deal works is this. I just put the link. I'm going to post it again there. Chalk.com. Chalk is based in the United States. They ship out of Georgia. They're founded in Texas, and they have an all-American customer service team. And Chalk has over 5,000 third-party verified 5-star reviews on Trustpilot since 2019. And I partnered with them since the beginning. So we are all connected, dude, genetically. The way the deal works is the next 3 or 4 people, because someone just got a stack, congratulations, dude, just got a stack. The next 3 or 4 people who go to chalk.com and you add a male stack, a female vitality stack, or a performance stack to your cart, and you apply the discount code 44life, which works on the subscription, and you can cancel or modify your subscription anytime. You get a 44% off lifetime discount, which you can cancel or modify at any time. And automatically, you are getting a $100 bag of the organic heirloom cacao from Bolivia included in your order. In the male and female stack, the freebie is cool, but listen, the chocolate powder is freaking amazing. Look at Kate. She says it's her favorite thing. It is literally amazing. However, I should mention, the freebie is the cherry on top. We're not talking about free. If something's free, you are the product. I've talked about this for years. So this is the way. Someone's like, wait. Is that going to convince me? No, but listen, the freebie is cool, but what you really want to think about is what's in the male stack, what's in the female stack, what are you subscribing to? In both the male and female stack is the organic ashwagandha, which ours is certified organic, 43 clinical studies on it, massively boosts melatonin production, so you get 1,000 times better sleep while you're taking it. It's a hormone optimizer and a fertility booster, and it's considered the king of herbs in India. Jesse, the code is 44life, 44LIFE. I'll put it in the chat again. Make sure that you're applying that to a subscription, not a one-time order. So make sure you're adding the subscription to your cart. Like I said, you can cancel or modify your subscription at any time. Just keep in mind the clinically studied benefits are based on consistent consumption over 90 days. So when you're taking chalk, the ashwagandha, it's in the male and female stack. Taking it for 1 month is great. Better than not taking it. Taking it when you're not eating organic food. People ask me, should I be taking chalk if I'm not eating organic even? I'm thinking, bro, if you're not eating organic, you especially want to be taking superfoods. What would you prefer? Non-organic pesticide GMO food with no superfoods next to it? Or, the latter, the former, the upside downer. So that's what I'm saying. Superfoods, amazing, detoxing. And by the way, I said this yesterday. We have never had a legit person come after chalk or me in regards to my connection with chalk. Because if you go to chalk.com, which is an anomaly, you have wild crafted certifications, like in the Irish moss, that's in the female stack. Most Irish moss is farmed in the Caribbean. Ours is wild crafted from Nova Scotia. We have dozens and dozens of clinical studies. We have a ton of lab tests and heavy metal tests, and we're fully transparent. We call it, what's it called again? Yeah, full transparency labeling, where there's ingredients called excipients that legally chalk does not have to disclose as per the FDA or the FTC or whatever it is. Like there's certain ingredients you don't need to disclose if they were used in the manufacturing process rather than in the final product. Chalk lists the ingredients that they don't need to list because they're not bullshitting around. And they've been doing that since 2019, since the get-go, man. In fact, Chalk had just a quick little old story here. At the very beginning, the shilajit that Chalk has in 2019 was certified organic, but the laws and regulations changed to where shilajit cannot be certified organic because they changed the. It's kind of like because shilajit is not an agricultural product, and instead it like exudes from crevices and cracks in the mountains. It doesn't really grow. They figured, okay, we can't certify that organic because it doesn't. It's not really a plant, which is the idea of certified organic. So, anyways, but it's the same. The shilajit we got was the only one that was able to be certified organic because it was so clean. And now we have the same shilajit. It's not certified organic, but I mean, really, it just means it's like super pure and potent. And we have all the heavy metal tests as well. Shout out to Patty, who says, currently making my chalk lit plus mushroom blend equals focus fuel. Shout out to Patty, who, I tell you guys, all around the world, people are taking chalk. And I don't do this for this reason, but I can tell you that I got my dad taking chalk. I got my uncle the 7 Wonders on Christmas, which is a supplement at chalk with the 7 adaptogenic mushrooms. I've got family and friends. I gave my cousin the Chad mode for Christmas. When you boost someone's vibrational frequency because either you gave them a superfood or you hyped them up with your voice, like you shared some information and wisdom and knowledge, or you had a discussion and it was uplifting. This isn't why you want to do this, but the side effect of that is that there's ripples, like if you drop a stone in a pond. When you talk to your neighbor, your uncle, your parents, your family, and you drop seeds and they become more aware, and you get one person to stop drinking fluoride, that they end up talking. Dude, I remember when I rented a room off this guy, a friend I knew, well, a guy I knew growing up. Like, I didn't really know him actually, but I found out about him and we had to go into the same school and everything. Anyway, I rented a room off him, and I was always bringing these jugs of spring water into my room. And he's like, what the fuck are you bringing jugs of water in here for? And this was in town, so the water was fluoride. And I said, oh, I don't drink the tap water, man. Like, try. And I actually, instead of being like, you're a fucking sheep for drinking tap water, I said, bro, try it. Like, try the spring water, man. And he's like, whoa, like, that is actually pretty fucking good. And at the time, he was making, like, he liked making wine and like, he was making different alcohols and stuff. And so I'm like, bro, I'm pretty sure, like, the higher quality water, like the higher quality product you get with what you're doing with your jugs. We had the same glass jugs, but mine are full of water, and he's making fucking wine and all this other stuff. So anyway, what happened was he started drinking the spring water and then said, yo, I really quite like this stuff. Then he started going to, when he would go to work, he used to drink tap water at work all the time. And he started telling his colleagues at work, yo, you got to try the spring water. Just quit drinking tap water. It's toxic. It's got fluoride and chlorine. It smells like a fucking swimming pool. It's totally shit for you. This is one person that I got to drink spring water. And the impact that has, who knows? Maybe he's still telling people to this day to stop drinking tap water. You don't even know how much things are changing. Or things change from one person. Hold on a sec. Yes, I am on Rumble Studio Swing. Why did I not? Oh, I bet you did something. Did you just like donate a bunch of subscriptions or something? Because I don't see any. I would have like been hyped up if I saw that Swing. Jesse just got the mail stack. Holy shitskis, man. Shout out to Jesse, who just got the mail stack at chalk.com with the coupon code 44life, which means it drops the price 44% off for life, which means we have 2 or 3 more bags of the chocolate powder left to give away for free. Shout out to Jesse, who just got a free $100 bag organic heirloom cacao from Bolivia included in his order. And he got the mail stack, which is the ashwagandha, the tomcat, and the chalk daily. Supreme testosterone production, brain function, sperm count, and sperm motility. Clinically studied. Let me just say one thing. Tomcat, our tomcat is wildcrafted from Malaysia. That is certified wildcrafted. Check out the certification. It's freaking amazing. Free testosterone boost, 87% in 21 days. Sperm count, sperm motility, fertility in general, mental clarity. That's one that's in the mail stack. So Jesse's about to be taking the tomcat. which is a household name in Malaysia, by the way. Like they don't willy-nilly around. They know it's the household name. Then he has the Chalk Daily, #1 supplement for men, which has shilajit in it, which boosts total testosterone 21% in 90 days. He's going to feel like $1 million taking the Chalk Daily. It's the #1 supplement for men. And of course, the one that's in the male and female stack, the organic ashwagandha, which is certified organic. It's 15 to 18 times as potent as conventional ashwagandha, and it boosts melatonin production, so you get 1,000 times better sleep while you're taking it. If you guys are on the fence, 2 or 3 bags left to give away. Go to chalk.com. If you get a male or a female or a performance stack, which gets you that beautiful Chad mode, and you use that code, 44% off for life, and you get a free $100 bag of the chocolate powder. Shout out to Jesse, man. I am absolutely stoked for you, bro. You made an amazing investment. I mean, what does that come to? Let's do some quick little calculation here. 30. $2.60 a day, which many people spend 5 to 10 to more per day at like Starbucks and McDonald's and stuff. $2.60 a day for you to massively improve your mental clarity, your brain function, your energy levels, detox. I'm stoked for you, man. And of course, you're getting that freebie as well. Freaking awesome, man. Swing, yeah, that's what I did. I did 80 divided by 30, which came to $2.666666667 bucks a day. So Jesse, smoking deal, dude. 44% off for life. Byler asked a good question, bro. I literally posted that post years ago, and I regret posting it because it is misleading and fake. He said, "Is it true that coffee can cut your oxygen level to your brain off 30%?" Bro, I'd be fucking oxygenless if that was the case. My boss I used to work for when we were doing construction, all he drank was coffee. And he was blind in one eye. And he cut straighter, nailed straighter, didn't need a level, didn't need it. He did, obviously. But I'm just saying, like, he was built different. Drank coffee. That's the only thing he drank. And while that is not ideal for you, like you do need more water than coffee, and coffee does dehydrate you, yada, yada, yada. My point is that I don't believe that, man. It's a fucking herb. It's actually a super food almost. But anyways, my point is that coffee, the reason that you do want to watch out for coffee, though, is that conventional coffee is one of the most pesticide sprayed things, crops, and it also is known to be extremely moldy, which means that if you're getting conventional coffee that's not organic, it's gonna be moldy and pesticided, which is, of course, another reason why Chalk in the Chad mode went with the organic green coffee beans rather than conventional pesticided beans. You know what I mean? Swing, I can't even copy and paste that. As soon as I click it, it like pins your comment to the top and goes upside down. Swing, telegram it to me, dude, because I do want to click that big time. And shout out to, is Aloha on here? Hold on, I did see Aloha's message earlier. Hold on. He said, if it is 6,000 years, then King Messiah, Yeshua, is coming back soon, according to Daniel, Ezekiel, and Revelation. Aloha, doesn't it kind of feel like something big is coming around the corner? Maybe our whole lives was just this brief, quick little experience before the big shebang and the big show of him coming back, man. How freaking awesome will that be? Kate said, Jason Christoph talks about the brainwashing around coffee use. It's a big part of the agenda, akin to alcohol. Well, Kate, you know what's funny? I do remember a dear friend of mine was like, a dear friend of mine does not drink coffee. And one of the things he said to me, he's like, no, I don't drink coffee, man. I went camping with my buddies. So it's like, 5 dudes out kayaking, or rather canoeing across like Algonquin Park. And it's like a camping trip, and you're out there in the middle of nowhere and everything. Anyway, his friends were like, one of his friends came out and said, in the morning out of the tent, he's like, oh, like, I need a coffee. And he was like, could not begin his day without a coffee, which was like kind of weak sounding and like kind of like, are you a weakling? Like, so it put him off of it, even though he didn't drink it before that. He's like, no, I don't want to be reliant on something like that. The only thing is, Kate, like caffeine, and I could see how coffee has different purposes, but one of it is like caffeine itself. And by the way, Jason Christoph, I've talked to him, I think before, did I even do an interview with him? I'm pretty sure I did a freaking interview with him, or some guy whose name was Jason too, but looked like him. But anyways, I have much respect for Jason, but I do know there's also like a bunch of studies like caffeine is neuroprotective. It's quite something for your brain. You know what I mean? So I wonder, Laserface said, what events got canceled? A bunch, dude. A bunch of events actually. Throughout Europe, because they were worried about like terrorist attacks. Like Germany, for example, had to put up a bunch of barricades to make sure that no one drove into the crowds of enjoy his work in doses. It is hard. You know what's funny, Kate? Actually, shut the front door. Today, I saw a post from him for the first time in a long time, and I will remember what it was about. Maybe it was about the fake New Year, and he explained how they stole the real New Year and April Fools and all that. Maybe it was. I think it was that. But I haven't seen him in years, and then sure enough, on my live, you bring him up. That is a synchronicity. I have to say it. I haven't even seen his name for probably like 2 years. And then you just said that. So that is a synchronicity. So if everyone's listening right now, you are divinely exactly where you are meant to be, because you had a synchronicity. I had a synchronicity live with all of you, which means you are connected to the synchronicity. You got to experience my firsthand experience with this synchronicity, which I'm sure means we're all connected more than we even possibly fathom. So that's freaking awesome. Kate said, I've camped Algonquin, I think. Is that Bruce Peninsula? No, Kate, that's close. Bruce Peninsula is Georgian Bay and Lake Superior. Algonquin Park is like 4 or 5 hours northeast of Bruce Peninsula. But you have camped Bruce Peninsula? Holy crappers. It's a beautiful spot. I've never been, but I have been to Killbear Park. And I do want to go to Bruce Peninsula, though, because it's so beautiful. The water is crystal clear. You could see the bottom from 1,000 feet away. Yeah, exactly, Kate. Exactly. Synchronicity. Me too. Synchronicity is going through the roof. And Kate, none of us forgot our conversation with you about how it is already done and we have already won, by the way. Like you have lore on this live stream now because of that conversation you had with us that day in probably July, maybe August. But Kate, when did you come to... I didn't know you really visited Canada too much. That's freaking awesome. Congratulations, by the way, who just got a Shilajit, a Ashwagandha, and a Chad mode. Someone just went to chalk.com and got a Shilajit, Ashwagandha, and a Chad mode with the code 44life, which comes to less than, I don't know. I'll have to find out the exact tally, but we're talking pennies on the dollar, dude. So someone just got the organic energy drink, pre-workout, natural, organic caffeine, organic blue spirulina. They're detoxing out the yin yang as soon as it shows up at their front door in 2 to 5 business days, usually closer to 2. And they use the code 44life, which means they're getting the $100 bag of the organic heirloom cacao from Bolivia as well. So if you guys are on the fence, this means we have 2 or 3 bags left to give away. Go to chalk.com, get a male stack, a female stack, or a performance stack, or a bunch of superfoods, and get that coupon code 44life applied to your subscription, and you will get one of the last bags, the organic heirloom cacao from Bolivia, included in your order. $100 freaking value. But quickly, because honestly, we aren't like doing a super crazy long live tonight, and we already gave away 2 bags. I dated a Torontonian for a year and still good friends. Okay, Kate. Wow, what's his name? I might know him. You're in Buffalo. Well, I've been to Buffalo. I went to Buffalo because I wanted to get, well, actually, a few things. I could tell you the lore of Buffalo. I mean, let me just zoom out. Hold on a second. Where's she at? Buffalo action's got to be there. Okay. You're a stone's throw. So wait, Kate, if you do, okay, hypothetically speaking, if you were on like, how did you meet this guy if you're in the States and he's in Toronto? And I'm just wondering, if it was something like Plenty of Fish or Tinder, did they not have like, yo, I'm not trying to drive like through a freaking border to go on a date? Or is it like, I'm sure that's a setting maybe, like can you set the setting to be like only in my country, not 20 feet away in Niagara Falls, Ontario? You know what I mean? Let me know. Otherwise, that's an interesting phenomenon. Now, Bruce Peninsula is still a freaking hike from Buffalo. But it is one beautiful as heck of a spot, man. And none of you guys have even been there except for probably Swing. Except for Swing. Kate said, I'm actually in the city, not the suburbs like the posers. Oh, online. Okay, so pen pals. Nothing wrong with pen pals. Nothing wrong with pen pals. I do want to know his name, though, because I'll tell you if I know him. I'm so glad it's about to be awesome, grateful as can be. Yeah, Pure Grace, talk to me. Let me know your thoughts. Like, what are you feeling vibrationally about what everything is going on right now? Because, I mean, I think it's cool that, that's right, Novak. I think it's cool because whatever's coming around the corner with this tax strike, good things will happen from it. You know, Lightning Strike said, since the new financial system is coming through with the gold-backed currency, have you heard about Nasara? Yeah, but I don't think they're going to back any currency with gold. It's going to be digital digits on a screen, man. They're not giving you fucking gold. You're not going to be able to, you know, redeem your freaking central bank digital currency points for gold pieces. Nasara is going to be a part of the debt forgiveness program, or it's behind it, where they offer everyone full debt forgiveness, but at the cost of our freedom and our well, actually, let me put it this way. Kate and Swing, can you briefly, guys, both re-explain Nasara and Jasara? Because my thing is this: with whenever I mention global, and I'm not abreast to everything, okay, but I know that there may be a plan to give global debt forgiveness to be able to consolidate everyone's assets, and then all of us be super enslaved and controlled. So I don't know exactly everything about Nasara and Jessara, but I do wonder if maybe that has some element of a part of the plan to turn the economy upside down and then give us a way out. And the way out is we basically getting enslaved. So you know what I mean? Now, Kate said we have 100% in silver. Hell yeah, or heck yeah. People are talking about silver and gold. Let's check where we at right now with price action. So silver is still down a bit. I mean, it's up as I shouldn't say down. I mean, it's up out the yin yang, man. But it came a little bit down off of its highs there. A lot of people do think it's going up. Gold, freaking giving her, man. I almost bought a bunch in like literally 2020 fucking 3 or something, man. I remember my finger was on the trigger. I'm like, oh, it's like shipping is insured. Like I could just buy this and then it will show up in my house and it's insured. So if someone steals the package, like I still get, no one, the insurance picks it up. That could have been a freaking generational play, man. But you know what? There's moves like this every year. Don't willy-nilly me. There is moves like this every year, so don't think you missed out on anything crazy. I mean, we all missed out on. I mean, you could have sold the fucking British pound in 2021 and bought it back at 2022, and you'd be up $1 bajillion. I mean, you can always look back like that. Silver did outperform Bitcoin, though, so this year anyway. A bunch of people are on the site, by the way, right now. So if you're on the site, make sure you put the male or female or performance stack in your cart. Apply the discount code 44Life to maximize your savings. Massive, massive discount. And you will get a $100 bag of the chocolate powder included in your order. So that is... and now let me just tell you one thing about the chocolate. It's a play on words. Chocolate. Like the reason Chalk's name is chocolate, or rather is chalk, is because of their reverence to cacao and the superfood benefits of cacao. And so they opted for the highest possible quality cacao they could get their hands on, which is certified heirloom and certified organic, as opposed to unfortunate cacao that is synthetically fertilized and sprayed with all kinds of crazy stuff that you don't want. Anyway, so they went with the chocolate heavy metal tested stuff, and it is freaking amazing, dude. Like, I'm so stoked for Jesse to try it. If this is his first time ordering, he's going to be absolutely floored. Kate said, we missed out on nothing. Exactly. Get some Vietnamese dong. Is that a new currency they're launching? Kate, let me know. Swing said, National Economic Security and Recovery Act. Jessara just means global instead of national. Okay. So that sounds like Great Reset central bank digital currencies and everything like that. Am I right? Or let me know. Stand by 10 seconds. The thing is, though, is that wasn't it the dinar? Wasn't the Libyan currency supposed to be dinars? Do you remember what I'm talking about? Swing said, this will be world peace, not just here. Big reason this is taking so long. Tell me more of your thoughts. Like, don't willy-nilly me, Swing. Like, fully explain what you think is going to happen. Not because I would, like, close my eardrums off to any other opinions and fully blindly believe you, of course. But I mean, like, I am curious. I respect your opinion, dude. You're not some willy-nilly ding-dong. So I do want to hear about it. Now, about your thoughts. Jesse said, is there anything we can do to not have to get the digital ID? Jesse, from what I heard, man, you already have one. You just haven't been informed of it nor given it, but that they already have digital IDs for all of us that have all of our social shit connected to it. And when one day they turn it on, like, you've already got a profile. You wouldn't be starting a profile from fresh scratch, dude. If they launch, yeah, exactly, Butter. Yo, shout out to Butter Dog, man. Butter, comment now if you're watching, buddy. So yeah, imagine they roll out digital ID and we all have fresh slates. Like, that's not what they want. They've been collecting data on our asses since a cell phone invented. And so they already have data out the yin yang that they want to apply to our faces. So it's not going to be digital ID. It'll be like in the UK, for example, they said, if you want to access Twitter, you need to give your driver's license so we know that you're of age so that you won't be exposed to any inappropriate content for minors, right? It was called like the Child Protection Act or whatever. And no, the excuses to protect children, the truth is to get everyone's IDs linked to their accounts so that they can penalize you personally. Like, if you said something crazy in the UK online, and then the UK government goes and subpoenas Twitter to get your information from that account, well, now they have a driver's license to fucking give them. That's what it's about, dude. So it's all a bit of a willy-nilly bit. Just don't. Exactly, Kate. Well said. Well, the other problem with crypto, Swing, don't you think the other problem with crypto, like, let me know your guys' thoughts, but quickly. And by the way, congratulations to who just got a Shilajit and a, what was that? A Seven Wonders. I didn't even mention Seven Wonders on the live. Someone just got a Shilajit and a Seven Wonders from Chalk with the code 44life. And you know what? They didn't get a stack, but I'm going to tell Chalk they should give them a $60 bottle of the Chalk minerals for free, because they didn't get a full-blown stack, so they don't necessarily qualify for the chocolate powder. But I'm going to get them something big time, which is the $60 bottle of, literally, listen to this, hot water purified, bioavailable, not hot water purified, sorry, cold water extracted, bioavailable minerals from a humic shale deposit in Utah. Full matrix of minerals, binds to free radicals, rebuilds your DNA, boosts brain function. And we could honestly do like an 8-hour stream specifically on minerals and their benefits to your DNA and absorbing nutrients and how every vitamin requires a mineral to activate it. But all I'm going to say is this. If you're taking the male or the female stack, you're getting the full matrix of minerals. And if you double up by getting a male or female stack and you get the chalk minerals, the thing with minerals when they're bioavailable is that you can't overdose. Any excess bioavailable minerals, your body excretes. Like, it can't hurt. It's just the more the merrier. Because we've been going decades now, even a deficiency in one mineral can cause total body imbalance. So shout out to who just got the Shilajit and the Seven Wonders. You're going to feel like $1 million taking it, dude, and you're getting a free minerals. Anyone else on the fence? Make sure you use the code 44life. If you get a male or female stack or performance stack at chalk.com, you're getting a $100 bag of the chocolate powder included in your order for free. And this is pretty much the last call. Now, what I wanted to mention is this. Take chalk so you don't have to get the digital ID. Well said, Butterdog. Yeah, I mean, Novak said it's sad the millions of people protested in Europe and they ignored all you guys. No, shit happened, man. And it's just the tip of the iceberg. There's still millions and millions of tens and tens of millions of Europeans that if they stood up and said no, there's nothing they'd be able to do. And I love that from Kate. Kate said, mandatory doesn't mean law. That's true. Mandatory is fake. Mandatory doesn't exist. You can say no. What did we talk about, Kate? Remember we blew everyone's minds because we talked about that and said mandatory, required, essential. All these words are fake to induce fear when really it's like we just want you to do this thing. You know what I mean? So just do not do it, man. Boom, bang, bing. Hold on a sec. Detox all the nanotech with Chad mode. That way they can't detect you. Will, well said, man. Well said, dude. That's a good one, actually. Shout out to Will, by the way, because Will is actually sharp as a tack, man. He's paying attention. And yesterday I mentioned that something strange is sprayed on produce in grocery stores, and it's not water. Those misters, it's not water. It was actually found to be something called Produce Max, which is an antibiotic, and they're somehow allowed to spray it on organic food. Another reason it's imperative to be detoxing the phthalates, the microplastics, heavy metals, and more. Jesse, no, we're not effed, dude. That is what, bro, if we were effed, I wouldn't be like, why would I even bother? If I believed we were screwed, why would I even willy-nilly around talking like I would be in a hole somewhere curled up in a ball? We will win. We already have won. We outnumber them a bajillion to one. The good always prevails. You can only hide the truth for so long. The truth is the cat's out of the fucking bag. I can name a million things, dude. I'm stoked at what's happening, even though I know there's some things that are, jarring and whatnot, and unfortunate things like bombings, in different countries and whatnot. All that sucks. But I do know we will win at the end of this. So, you know what I mean? Man, look at it lovely. Like, Jesse's new here, so no one can roast him, which no one did. All of you guys lovingly replied. But Jesse said, we're screwed. Swing said, we're not. Will said, definitely winning. Light at the end of the tunnel. Brighter than ever. And then Kate says, we're not screwed at all. All the good stuff is coming. Love God with all your heart. Trust and ground in love. We are on the cusp of heaven on earth. You guys, do I even need to go live anymore? Is my job done? I'm serious, man. You guys are so aware and in tuned rather. I was going to say that Novak said metals and money won't have value if a permanent collapse happens, and the big events in terms of finance, we won't know what to expect from a permanent collapse after it happens. That's right. It's never happened, really. I love Jesse for like saying, yeah, actually, we're not. But I know it's so easy to be like, dude, if you talk to the average person, they go like, we're fucked, man. Like, you're fucked. We're screwed. Our economy's fucked. And I get it. It is a shitstorm. But only, let me say this. People are looking at like our economies or our countries from one lens and being like, historically, if we do this, this, and that, which is happening now, like we will be screwed. But what their brains are not fully calibrating is the potential for opportunities and situations outside of the norm, outside of what is expected. So in other words, they're looking at like our GDP is down, our debt is through the roof, like we are screwed. But not if we change the whole system. Didn't Gaddafi get Libya out of like a bajillion of dollars of debt and made them like a powerhouse in North Africa before they blew them up? Like before they got blown up, rather, metals will always have value regardless of the centralized financial. That's right. That is true. They always have. I mean, there was long before there was a centralized financial nothing. Gold and silver were freaking cash money. So, or actually, that's a bad example. Cash is not even. But, you know how it all started. It used to be gold and silver were money. Then they figured, well, it's a bit of a pain in the ass to carry a bunch of gold and a bunch of silver around. So why don't we issue these notes that are redeemable in gold, that are backed by gold, and people can carry these papers with them a lot easier than gold and silver. But then they got the idea, wait a minute, what if we made these notes but lend out more money than we had gold and silver, because people aren't really going to come and all pull out their money at the same time, so we'll never really get caught. We can lend out more money than we even have in gold and silver, and we can make interest out of basically thin air, and that's a good fucking idea. That's what they figured, by the way. That's why we're at where we're at. Let me see. Hold on a sec. Pure Grace said, God placed all we needed in this earth, 100%. The best you can get today is what Shane has, one of a kind, best you can buy. And I'm not even a customer yet, LOL, but I've researched the company heavy. Shout out to Pure Grace. So hold on a second. The best you can get. Oh, you mean, yeah, like, do not fear. Wow, Butterdog, well said, wise words. Shout out to freaking Butter, man. And also, though, what I wanted to say is to Pure Grace, yes, we do have all we need on this earth. In terms of superfoods, like I wouldn't say, yeah, like chalk is, there's a reason, like, dude, I went with what I could find as, and I had partnered with a company that fully is within my own thoughts on what food and consumption and ingredients should be. That is why there's no GMO corn syrup in the Chad mode. There's no glucose fructose, which is from GMO corn, in the chocolate powder. Instead, it's sweetened with maple sugar crystals. Instead, the shilajit, we're not doing the tar resin shilajit because the tar resin shilajit has heavy metals in it. We have the hot water purified shilajit, and the water is evaporated, making it a potent concentrate. So I do say, yes, chalk is the best when you go to a spot that can consolidate your supplement regimen, which a ton of people do. When you get a male stack or a female stack and you use the code 44life, many people mention how it consolidates their supplement regimen. And that is what, I mean, it's amazing. The male and female stack with all those superfoods together, the minerals, the bioactive compounds, it does condense things to where now every day you just take these 3 supplements, these 3 superfoods. And of course, if you order on the live, you are getting the free $100 bag of the chocolate powder as well. Just make sure you use that discount code I just put in the chat, 44life, which unlocks a 44% off lifetime discount. I am stoked for Pure Grace to try chalk, though, especially the Chad mode. Grace, like, we have people all over the world. You would be surprised. Like, Paper Doll, where's Paper Doll at? She's all the way in Australia. She gets every, 4 months or so, she orders, 8 or 9 Chad modes. She gets stocked up on the shilajit. Like, we have people from around the world who are dear souls who we could all sit down with and have a great conversation with, who love chalk as well. So it is definitely freaking awesome. Shout out to Pure Grace. Will said, yeah, that's right, dude. Oh my God. Shout out to Will, man. We need to eat so much less than we do, grow our own food, live on breath and air. That's right, Kate. And Kate, someone would say, well, the air is toxic too. Like, I don't subscribe to the notion that every single freaking thing is toxic, man. But you guys may think I do because I talk about, all these different strange things. But I still have a positive outlook. I'm not thinking that we're all screwed or doomed or fucked because shit's upside down, Wow, look what Kate said. She said, we won in the spiritual, in the truth. We are simply seeing it play out in the material. So perhaps economy crashing, things going upside down and all that is part of, or seemingly definitely is, a part of the process to us winning. That is what it is, actually. Kate, that's not even being willy-nilly positive. I love that, Kate. Shout out to Jesse. Boom, bang, bing. Keep me on point. Shout out to Jesse, man. He is chill. Tony Westbrook, who worked at SpaceX, he says great things are coming. Pretty freaking cool. He said they're not yeah, exactly. That's what I mean, Kate. That's the only thing we can do, which is a beautiful thing to do, to be honest. I'm not going through a rough time. That's outside my experience. Prayer is more powerful than we can know. Yeah, we were praying tonight. It's a lovely thing. Something vibrationally happens big time. Swing said Fed Reserve needs to collapse or nothing happens. If everyone stopped paying taxes, would that happen? Aloha says, just like Q said, we are approaching the precipice. Oh, I feel that anyway. Whether Q said it or Elemental P said it, dude, I'm feeling that as well. You know, it's a great discussion, man. Look at freaking Kate. It's a great falling apart and the great coming together. It's how you choose to view the experience. We won't have a rough time. Anything's possible. So to think that in order for our world to change, it would have to get really, really bad before it got good, that's not even quite accurately true, man. You know what I mean? But I will say this: if all this crazy stuff is going on right now, and they just approved forever chemical laden pesticides and herbicides for our food, I do think with all of you guys on here who are already taking chalk, so you already get it, but detoxing and boosting our vibrational frequency and decalcifying our pineal glands is up there with the most important. Like, I know too many guys and girls who know about Michelle Obama, fluoride, GMOs, but they eat McDonald's or they're drinking tap water or they're showering. I mean, these things are going on. And I think that more, importance needs to be put on what we're putting in our bodies and also what we're detoxing out of our bodies. You know what I mean? So Jesse said, what's the best way to decalcify the gland? Jesse, you just got the best way, dude. He got the male stack with the code 44life, which drops the price 44% off for life. He's getting the free $100 bag of the chocolate powder, which we have 2 or 3 left to give away on this live if you get a male stack or a female stack or a performance stack. But Jesse, if you type in foods, listen to this, Jesse. He didn't even know. He walked into an organic market, asked where the organic food was. That's basically what just happened. Jesse, if you type in foods to decalcify the pineal gland, you will see on there cacao, shilajit, anything with bioavailable minerals. You'll probably see ashwagandha. And it's known anyways that the antioxidants in cacao are so powerful, and that's probably why they believe it's to be so good for the pineal gland. So, dude, if you start taking chalk, basically, like I would say that you're exactly where you're meant to be, dude. Just also additional things you can do is bare feet on the ground, grounding, meditating, sun gazing. I'll tell you about it. But hold on a second. Apparently, 3 or 4 people are on the site right now. Someone's got a shilajit in their cart. If you have a shilajit in your cart, you could get a shilajit with the code 44life, which comes to less than $1 per day. 100%. And maybe we'd throw in like a free bottle of the chalk minerals. But I'm just saying, because chalk is doing the 44% off lifetime discount on any subscription or bundle, the best bang for your buck, the best value for your dollar or for your cryptocurrency would be, I'm half kidding, getting a stack. And then when you get the stack, you get the $100 bag of the organic heirloom cacao from Bolivia, like Jesse did. So, dude, I appreciate you, Jesse. And Jesse, let me ask you this. Is this your first live, dude? Because we do this pretty much every freaking day, dude. And, you know, yeah, Novak, I don't really know much about Q, to be honest. Like, Aloha Patriot is fully, could tell you inside out, upside down what Q is. Swing seemingly knows a little bit about Q as well. Kate quite knows about it too. I kind of thought that Q was the same thing as, and let me tell you what I mean. I thought that Q was the same thing as, this is what I heard, but you guys tell me if I'm perpetuating some bullshit, okay? Apparently in Russia, before the Soviet Union killed 60 million, mostly Christians, Russia had a lot of smart people, a lot of poor people, a lot of middle-class people, a lot of people who were stoked, and a lot of vibrational souls. And what happened was they all saw the writing on the wall and thought, we're about to be completely screwed, and shit's going upside down, yada, 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 and we need to revolt. And so the Soviets figured something quite funny, which is that if we go and spread a rumor in the bars, the taverns, the restaurants, and the churches that there is a like incredible force of positive good doers in the establishment who are actually going to revolt against the government and take them down at the last minute, it made every citizen basically pacified, thinking that it's under control. Then, when the Soviet Union the Soviet government, whatever it was, became fully in power, there was no secret organization like the White Hats, and everyone got completely screwed. And when I say screwed, I mean firing squatted, hanged, brutalized, like it was a shitstorm. What happened during the Bolshevik revolution there. So when I hear that, and this is, again, I'm no expert, like I'm not an expert on anything. So don't come here thinking that I'm some expert because I know about this, that, or the other, or I've heard about this, that, or the other. But the thing is that when I heard what happened in Russia in those years, it reminds me of Q, because it's like, don't worry, Patriots in control, the White Hats, everything's going to be fine. Now, everything can be fine, but I don't know that it will be because of some secret organization within our governments versus because of our vibrational frequency. No, I know, Swing. I think you must have been listening to something at the same time as I wasn't saying Q had anything to do with Russia. I'm saying that the story of Q with the White Hats and everything seems familiar with what happened in Russia when there was a alleged secret organization that's going around and going to upend the Soviet government union thing before they fully take power and destroy everyone. And their thing was trust the plan, basically, but in a different language. You know what I mean? So I'm just wondering, like, it sounded similar, but I don't know. Like, it would be dope if Q was, Okay, so here, Swing is giving me a history lesson. He says, Q started with a group of military when JFK was God, if you guys know what God means. Okay, so, I could be wrong. I saw one meme. I also saw a meme in 2016 about how religious books would serve better if they remained as trees. Most religious books, yes, but not the Bible, which has Genesis, which tells you how our whole world was created and the whole story about it, which is legit. It's that, or we came from a big explosion, man. So, but anyway, my point is I've been wrong in the past. I'm happy to be wrong. I welcome it. I don't think I'm wrong about fluoride. I don't, I think I'm right about GMOs. There's some shit that I'm like, yeah. Firmament, I'm like 99.9% sure we're not on this spinning ball. I mean, we'll tell you all about it. But, it is interesting. Now, Tony said, I just finished my Chad mode. Shout out to Tony, who's having his Chad mode as we speak. He's in a time zone that makes him at, I think, 4:45. Unless, isn't SpaceX in Texas? Okay, so it might be 6:45. So you're having a bit of a late Chad mode, man. That's freaking awesome, dude. Shout out to Mr. the Giga Chad, Tony Westbrook, man, who uses his full legal name as a profile name on here, which is ballsy, man. He's got nothing to hide. That's right, Kate. Exactly. They are major players, aloha, but my theory was that China and Russia are kind of just like the boogeymen to then eventually be blamed on, so that they can do all kinds of stuff. They could shut the grid down and say it was Russia, but when really it was our own, like you can blame it's a false, right? But Aloha says, our planet is a biodome according to the Holy Torah. So that, the Bible, what does the freaking Quran say about the globe? They say it's a ball. They also say other stuff in there. I mean, you never know, but has anyone seen an overhead picture of the JFK Memorial? No, Cliff, I haven't, dude. Tell me about it. Hold on a second. Apparently there is a quick chalk update. There is like 11 or 12 people on the site right now browsing. Several people have stuff in their carts. Yeah, I know, Aloha. I was just like, I was just like, what does the Hindu Bible say about the dome? You know, it's just, um, if you're on the fence, quickly go to chalk.com. If you're already there, add a male or female or vitality stack to your cart, and then apply that discount code 44life to unlock the 44% lifetime discount, and you will get the free $100 bag of chocolate powder included in your order. I heard he was a warmonger, Aloha. JFK Memorial Aerial. What do we got? What do we got? Is it a Q? Hold on a sec. It is most definitely a Q. Wow. Interesting. Interesting. Wow. Stand by for 10 seconds. Don't go anywhere. That's hilarious. Loa said, ask Indian Christians. I met one online. Yeah, you know, I had a friend, an Australian friend who went to Bali, and he's like, dude, in Bali, all these people here, of course, respect. Like, I would never impose, like, I respect, like, Mongolians. I don't know what their god is, right? I do think, though, it does say, like, there will be many fake gods, false gods. So it makes sense. Like, it just kind of, from my perspective, where I was born and my worldview understanding, which I fully admit is limited. Like, I'm not all knowing, of course. But my thing is this. My buddy's in Australia. He goes, yeah, dude, they're worshiping like every day, like 10 times a day, these little like mini, like stone, like gargoyles almost. And he's like, dude, it's fucking mind control, man. Like, now to the Balinese people, they're like, no, this is, Tuk Tuk or whoever, that they love so much and everything. And if it's given them the strength to do this, that, and the other, like, I'm all for it. But I do think there is definitely false gods, and that it was prophesied that there would be false gods. And I also think that, for example, apparently Satan always wanted to be like God, okay? And he wanted to be all knowing, to be everywhere at the same time, to be able to read our minds and to control us like God could, but lets us do free will, right? Well, what is AI? AI is about to, if they have their way, read our minds. It can already listen to all of us, basically sees all of us at all times with all the cameras that are out there, and wants to control us, of course, like they want AI to control all of us. So I think AI is a part of the satanic agenda 100%. If not, is directly behind it is Satan himself, or themselves, itself. You know what I mean? So AI, man, I'm not into it. I mean, it's fucking bullshit, man. We need to be thinking about the world, the trees, the ground, the soil, not a computer system, man. Wait a minute. When it's weaponized, AI is God too. AI is a tool. Exactly. A tool in both senses of the word. It's a tool like as an insult, and it's a tool as in can be used as a tool, yes. But there's something to it for sure. I don't even know if we could it's definitely being weaponized. I don't even know if AI could be like if you could put a program onto AI to make it not become self-aware, or make it not become too much thinking for itself. It probably could reprogram itself to not be constrained by that program anyway. So I think it's too dangerous regardless, That's a great swing said. My hope is that AI will be educational when the shift happens. a lot for people to learn. If that's not the case, fuck AI. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Okay, Novak. True. He says it's like the boomers saying the internet was the worst thing that happened. Such a retarded opinion. Well, um, that's a great one too. See, you guys have all these impeccable theories and thoughts, man. It's just great. To Novak, I can see though, but hold on, chill, Novak. I see people, boomers, who are like, I grew up. We all like shit has changed in some ways for the better, but for boomers who bought a house for $6,000 in 1982 on one income with 7 kids, like they're looking at today's world being like, this is fucked. And the internet probably has something to do with it. So the internet sucks and everyone's on their phones and they're all stupid. And so blah, 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 blah. I get why boomers think that. But for us, if we didn't have the internet, we'd all be reading the newspaper, which is all controlled by the same corporate. I mean, we'd all be brainwashed, sleeps, right? So, you know, everything, what's good or bad, is our perception to it, you know. But I do know the plan is to use AI against us, but we have our own plan. That doesn't mean their plan comes to fruition. You know what I mean? Um, but speaking of, I wanted to mention that apparently I'm getting told to stand by that there's several people on the site with their orders in their cart with the coupon code already applied to their cart. If you guys have applied the coupon code 44life on your subscription at chalk.com, male stack, female stack, performance stack, which has the chat mode in it, quickly place your order because this is literally the last call. And if you get a stack, you're getting a $100 bag of the chocolate powder included in your order automatically, which you're going to love so much. It's so delicious. You can smell it. Like, honestly, you know what you do? When you're done your bag of chocolate powder, you could, if you so chose, empty it, whatever, put the bag. And this worked with a bag of vanilla bean powder that I got. It probably works for the chocolate too. Put the empty bag of chocolate powder in your sock drawer. Every time you open that, you get a delicious fragrance of cacao, vanilla bean powder, Ceylon cinnamon, spices, deliciousness. And it's just one more added benefit to this beautiful product that God made. You know, some guy chirped me the other day. He said, you're promoting misinformation and you're promoting useless supplements. And I said, well, I love you, but your brain may be fucking useless because you obviously didn't use it to look at what chalk is. And if you can look at organic heirloom cacao that some ancient farmer whose 7th generation ancestors were growing cacao trees in Bolivia, trading it on the whatever our version of the Silk Road is, and call that useless is like shocking. And in fact, harrowing that someone would say such a thing to a guy. Imagine going up to the Malaysian, listen to this, the Tongkat Ali, which is in the male stack. Imagine walking up to a Malaysian native. They're not very tall, but they're fierce warriors. And walking up to them and saying, hey, your Tongkat, which you just climbed a freaking mountain and a gully and a culvert and an upside down jungle, your Tongkat that you just wildcrafted for chalk, because Tongkat is wildcrafted, chalk's certified wildcrafted, by Malaysian people with, like, what's it called, burlap sacks on their back, hiking through the jungle, sustainably harvesting this stuff. To call it useless is shocking. And we have, is it 23 clinical studies on the Tongkat Ali alone. So you can say, not you guys, but someone can say, I don't like Shane Vibes because he talks about that he thinks that these conspiracies are true, which are false because Google AI overview says so. And he promotes these things that people are supposed to consume, but like he sounds like Alex Jones. Like, raise your vibrational frequency, decalcify your pineal gland, and figure out that we're talking about something that's real. We're not willy-nillying around here. Okay? And so, yes, free lit, last call on the free lit, get a male stack, female stack, performance stack with that code, 44% off for life. And you get the $100 bag of the chocolate powder included in your order. Now, Magpie said something lovely. Hold on. I think she said, if heaven is forever, you're in it now. Wake up to reality. What is real? God is real. God is love. Ask yourself if what you're thinking is awful. It's not love. It's not real. Wow. Okay, Magpie. Is it a coincidence that, for sure, Swing. Swing said, a can of worms never opens if no internet, but it has negatively affected our youth. I know, but you know what's funny, dude? Yes, there's a ton of kids right now addicted to TikTok whose brains are fried, who are literally like their IQ has probably dropped off a fucking cliff. And I grew up without TikTok, without phones. You guys, I'm 30 years old, so I did not realize that the 2000s were such an era, man. If I could go back, I would save up every fucking penny I had and buy Bitcoin, and I'd be a billionaire. But anyways, my point is, no, imagine though. I mean, my friend Shane, he's an idiot. I love him. Oh damn, if he's listening to this, he'll be so mad. Well, we don't get along with some things. Other things we get along great. The one thing he did tell me was to buy Bitcoin. Now he bought Bitcoin, but he sold it for a couple grand because he needed the money. So he, went upside down as well. But it's not about money in this realm. It's just energy. It's about our vessels and our eternal. And I know that if any of you guys have been studying, the truth, aka the Bible or Christianity, King James, for years, like you can tell that I am new to this. I didn't grow up. I grew up, I guess, basically atheist. Like, didn't hear much about there being a God. Kind of thought people who believed in God were kind of whack. So I am very new to this. But my point is that it's a lovely thing to be here in the now, and that if God is real and God is love, then if something's not love, it's not real. Wow, that's so cool, Magpies. And I do love Novak says, shut up to National Socialists waking people up about some topics. What do you mean, Novak? Magpies, though, my friend rescued a magpie. It's a very smart bird. Like, they're no dum-dums, eh? Those birds are quite something, man. So where did the quote, if it's not love, it's not real, come from? Because that's freaking awesome. I know. And you know what? I love what Kate said, too. So you notice my lives, like, I guess some people would love, like, I've watched, some guys before, they go on, and I've said this to you guys before, but it's a presentation from the beginning to the end. Whereas I come on here and I just kind of vibe, and I read comments and we discuss. And I think that is cool. I do love it. Now, Kate said, everything is a lesson, an offer. Everything serves our highest, every single thing. Yes. What do you mean? Fall down the stairs. You don't know that that is a part of a blessing. If you didn't hurt your leg, let's say this. If you didn't hurt your leg going down the stairs, which made you unable to go driving the next day, but then the next day, if you had been driving, you would have been smoked by a semi-truck, by an illegal immigrant driver. No, I'm just kidding. But you know what I mean? Like, you don't know. Everything's to the higher purpose. You have to have the opinion, which is a true opinion, that everything is for the betterment. Everything is for the higher, a higher purpose, and that everything that happens to you is happening for you, and it is good. So I love it, man. Money cannot buy admission into heaven. 100%, and you cannot take it with you. I love it, man. Freaking awesome, man. The Chinese farmer fable. Really, eh? Wow. Oh, Swing said, should, okay, Swing, that would be dope, man. We do need to do that. Thank you, Swing, too, to say, he said, Shane, congrats on the 1 million, dude. Thank you, man. It was a bumpy ride. It cost a lot of freaking coin to get my account back the last time, but now we're at 1,010,000, and we'll just keep ripping. Now, as you guys know, numbers never end. So if a number makes you happy, you'll never be happy because numbers never end. That's Bob Marley. Jamaica. But my point is that it's whatever, man. I mean, thank you, though. I mean, obviously it was a grind, But if you guys know anyone who needs to get their account back or needs any strikes removed on Instagram, DM me. I'm your guy, because I have a contact now at Meta who is a dear soul who is on our side, who gets accounts back. So he mainly deals with like bigger accounts, and it does cost, like, it's not, it's a pretty penny, but you can get your account back, yeah, I had to do it twice. Exactly. Yo, Swing, when did you first follow me? Because what's so funny is that, yes, I had 937,000 followers in 2021. September 2021, I got canned. September 2025, I had 800,000, 700 some odd thousand. It really surged since then. But anyways, enough about numbers and all that. But it's interesting, isn't it? Shout out to Patty. Patty said, chalk is so versatile, highest quality heirloom blend, personal faith. Shout out to lovely Patty, who is loving her chalk, because I'm telling you, it would be hypocritical for me to, or I just feel like I do follow people and whatnot who do give good information, but then it's like, let me reframe this. I love superfoods. I think more of us need to be taking superfoods, need to be boosting our vibrational frequency and decalcifying our pineal gland. I think that. I believe that the more people detoxing and getting the heavy metals out, getting the plastics out, getting the microplastics, the phthalates, the fucking heavy, the polystyrene chemicals, atrazine and glyphosate, all that stuff is so imperative to be getting out of us that is part of the reason I feel drawn to not only talking about the shape of the earth, the age of the earth, the fact that we were created, that space is fake, dinosaurs are fake, evolution's fake. I love all that stuff, and I love that we are detoxing and boosting our system. Shout out to Nova and Novak. Guys, what day is it? Friday? This is the last call on the free bags of chocolate powder that are going to be included in people's orders. If you go to chalk.com and add a male, a female, or a performance stack, and I do highly recommend checking out the Chad mode, because if you're getting 44% off for life, you may as well throw this in your cart too. It's got organic blue spirulina, which is one of the most powerful binders and detoxifying agents in the natural world. 150 milligrams of organic caffeine per scoop, cold water extracted from green coffee beans. Get the freaking Chad mode, because you're getting 44% off for life on your subscription. You can cancel or modify your subscription at any time, but keep in mind the clinically studied benefits are based on consistent consumption over 90 days. So you do want to get a consistent dose to experience the full range of benefits. But this is the last call to get the free $100 bag of the organic heirloom cacao from Bolivia. Get a stack, use that code. Some parts of dinosaurs are real, for sure. Dinosaurs, just the name itself was created, but they were probably just all dragons, really. But let me know. The Earth is 4 times bigger than they say, and it's ice separated by the ice wall. But hold on, Novak. Realistically, you don't know that. I don't know that. And I'm not saying it's not true, but have you heard of the theory of terra infinita? If we're not on a ball and it's not billions of years old, boom, everything we know is fake. What if we lived on an infinite realm? What is so fucking crazy about that? Energy is infinite. Plants will infinitely reproduce if they're not all killed. The earth is infinitely regenerating water. The earth is infinitely regenerating oil. Air, like everything in this reality is abundant and basically infinite. So why would an infinite realm of earth be a bridge too far? You know what I mean? Come on, man. Shout out to Pure Grace. Lovely username. I could read that often. Aloha said, losing a parent or both really changes your reality and what really matters in life. Please believe me. Also losing close friends. Yes, Aloha, that's true. I had a dear friend who, I won't even tell you about it. But yeah, Aloha. I lost, but heaven gained a dear soul, man. Dear close family member. It's quite something, man. But both my parents are still alive, which I'm counting my blessings on for sure. Aloha. You know what's crazy, man? And my condolences. Did he just transcend into the next? Of course. Is he in the eternal eternity now? Like, is he in the whatchamacallit? Like, bruh, like he freaking ascended, man. It's interesting not having their physical body here anymore. But it's beautiful to think if they are in another density, like their soul certainly didn't die, man. Souls don't die. Souls are eternal, are they not? Let me know. Um, but anyway, it's an incredible thing, and it's there. Sonny said, "Aloha, just be in gratitude for having him." I'm sure he is, and you're so right, Sonny. Wow, my dear friend Matt in 2020, he had it all, and in the end, it didn't really matter. Wow, Kate says, my dad communicates with me more those last 9 years. He's been physically dead. See, Kate, I can tell you about my late father-in-law, man. Chuck. Freaking Chuck, man. He's with us every day. I told you guys a story. Last winter, Christmas, I put on his full bodysuit, snowsuit, like Carhartt, whatchamacallit, like one piece for snowmobiling. And I reach into the pocket and in the pocket of the snowsuit that I inherited from him on Christmas Day was $500. He gave us $500 on Christmas Day as a Christmas present. So that's pretty shocking. Things like that happen, man. Whoever has the mail stack, wow, what Swing said they're doing better than us. That's one of my coping strategies. Could be even more than a cope, man. It could be an actual legitly, man. Jesse said that's super dope, dude. I know it was dope, man. It was. But he gives all the time, man. All kinds of stuff. I could tell you that he's given us and keeps giving, man. But what I wanted to say to whatchamacallit, oh, someone just ordered 4 shilajits and a moss, an Irish moss, the chalk Irish moss, which is wildcrafted in Nova Scotia. They used the code 44life, which means this is literally the last call, because that means they're getting the free $100 bag of the chocolate powder. If you go to chalk.com and you add a male or female stack to your cart, or you add a bunch of regular, singles to your cart, and you apply the discount code 44life, 44% off for life on your subscription, cancel or modify at any time, and you are going to get a free $100 bag of the chocolate powder. I guess we're going to literally, like, we probably got T minus 6, 120, 180, 260, no, 240. We got like 5 minutes, guys, so quickly get those orders in. We retain our personality and individuality too. Our souls are eternal, and we likely know each other also when we meet down here, even via the internet. It's all energy. Kate, with the vibrational frequency that you have, I do think we must have been in some tribe, perhaps, or some ancient village. Maybe I was the village, perhaps blacksmith, and maybe you were the woman of the village. If your soul was a woman, like, were you a man in a past life, Kate? Like, that kind of sounds a little bit like, are our souls bi? Like, I don't know. There is an answer to that, surely, though. One of you probably know. But anyways, so Kate, like, maybe you, in the past life, in ancient medieval times, filled up the water troughs that the blacksmiths like me would use to cool down the metal that we were making into swords to fight. You could have been the onion peeler in a past life. Like, Kate, you really don't know what you were. I could have been the groundskeeper. Like, we don't know, So maybe, yeah, medicine woman. I was thinking more like a water trough filler upper, but you could have been totally a medicine woman as well. I mean, I know Kate is cracking her ass up right now, man. Shout out to Kate. Well, that's a joke. I saw a guy make a joke. He said, everyone thinks in a past life they were like the king. And they're like, well, you could have been the fucking king's groundskeeper, man. Like, someone was. But it is impeccable, man. Oh man, Jesse's cracking up too. Shut up to Jesse, dude. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, if I didn't know Kate, I would never say, "Hey, maybe you were the water trough filler upper in ancient times." But I know Kate well enough. Kate's called in. I'm filling troughs. Yeah, exactly, Kate. It's a noble. Hey, don't, Kate. If you didn't fill up the water troughs, I couldn't have continued my blacksmithing, which could not have continued to make swords, which couldn't have defended our village from who? I don't know. Yeah, Sonny, you too. Guys, remember, Sonny, just a daily mandatory shout out. Sonny 247 designed the Orange County flag for Orange County in 1968 in 11th grade. Sonny is an artist. She designed the flag of Orange County. If you live in San Bernardino or anywhere in freaking Orange County, California, which I only know one name of place that's there, maybe, or I have to type it in to zoom in and see if I remember it. She is an artist and drew a flag, and that's the flag that you guys have if anyone is freaking there right now. Swing, please do, man. Soul's Fragment. Many of us here have been King Henry or some other shit. That's why so many believe they're the same famous one. Oh, interesting, Kate. Well, also, like, that's interesting. Okay, I could Soul's Fragment. Energy, like, it doesn't really know any distance or any bounds. It's pretty freaking cool. But yeah, no, I'm not joking about Sonny. That wasn't a big troll. Like, Sonny did design that flag, and it's with the oranges and everything. But when she lived in Orange County, there was more orange trees and more life and organicness. And now, what is Orange County doing? I don't know, man. It's probably the same thing that the surrounding county, or rather fucking Toronto, is doing. Like, let's see, how's Orange County? Oh, frick. Anaheim, Santa Ana, Mission Viejo. Holy, how many people can you cram in one spot? Laguna Beach, how many people can you cram in one spot? I'm actually wondering. Like, where do you go hunting there? Where do you go four-wheeling? It's beautiful, yeah. And you get to share your beauty with, what is it, 100 people, 1,000 people per square mile? Hold on a sec. Population density, Orange County. One of the most densely populated counties in the U.S. What's the number? I'm not looking for some willy-nilly AI shit. Okay, hold on. People per mile. 4,000 people per square mile. Dude, that is absolutely insane. Hold on. Hold on. Where I live is 45 people per square mile. So, dude, is that 100 would be 100 times 45? Yeah, it's 4,500. Okay. 100 times more dense. Like, that's shocking, man. I don't know. I think we should all live in the sticks, man. I am a rural soul. That is so cool, Sonny. What did Pierre Gray say? Yeah, exactly. It was already written. That's well said. Yeah, okay, that's true. Walt said that's still 1/1000th of Delhi and doesn't smell. That's true, Captain Walt. Like, don't let me, because I never grew up in a city. I never barely lived in a city. Like, don't let me, being a rural kind of, rednecky type. Like, I don't, I get it. Don't let that change people's thoughts. Like, I'm sure it's beautiful. I know why a bajillion people live there. It looks nice. Like, it's beautiful. Like, every day the sun rises. Like, I totally get it. What's Captain Walt lives in. I wonder what your population density is there, Captain Walt. I'm so glad I live in the woods now on 40 acres. Well, Sonny, but some people in a city like can't really fathom being like, it feels weird, lonely, scary, like being out in the sticks. But I get it, I get it. City just feels unnatural to you now, and I was a lifelong city lover until my awakening. I think many such cases, Kate. I really do. I really do think many such cases. Who's got the mail stack at their cart? If you have a mail stack in your cart right now, literally place your order ASAP. You're the last person who's going to get the free $100 bag of the chocolate powder included in your order. Make sure you quickly place that order. Do not willy-nilly around. And that's one of 2 left. Maybe we can extend the deal if you DM me or something, or if you're already talking to someone at the Chalk site, you'll get the free lit included in your order. But just make sure that you use that discount code 44life. Do not pay full price when they have a 44% off lifetime discount. And you'd be shocked how many times, like, a post came up and the post said, like, it was a joke. It was like, if you make an article and the article says, hey, I'm selling cookies for $3 at 111 Broadway Street and on Friday. And the first 5 comments will be, where are you selling them? How much are they? What are you selling? When? And what's the address? You know what I mean? And so it's just because we're inundated with so much information. But my point is that you'd be surprised how many people accidentally pay full pop when we're doing this massive discount. So make sure that you apply that code properly. I was always a country girl stuck in the city until I escaped. Sonny, for some reason, people do feel like they've escaped a city. Like, it feels like they have to escape it. You know, I know. And there's a movie about that. Dinner with Andre. Watch that one. It's a very strange movie. Okay. I love all of you guys. We will see you on tomorrow's. I don't know about tomorrow. I'll tell you, just turn on live notifications so that if I do go live, you know when I'm live. Thank you all for joining. This was a ripper. DM me if you're going to get anything at chalk.com. I'll make sure you get the freebie and the best possible discount code. Happy 2026 fake Gregorian calendar. I'll see you on April 1st when we talk about the real new year, although you'll see me a million more times before then. I love you all. God bless all of you. We were created. We did not evolve. And we are not on a billion-year-old planet or anywhere even close to that, okay? So I love you guys. I'll see you on the next live, okay?